Have you ever wondered why you still struggle with money, still buried under bills, still weighed down by financial pressure even after trying prayer, working endless hours, or even applying the so-called law of attraction only to see no results? Have you ever cried out in frustration? Why am I still broke after trying manifestation? That haunting question echoes in the minds of millions around the world. Imagine this. You're standing in a dark room facing a heavy iron door. You push, you pull, you knock desperately, yet the door doesn't move an inch. You believe luck has locked you out. Circumstances have trapped you. Fate itself has turned against you. But what you don't realize is that the key has been in your hand all along. You've been holding it. You just never used it in the lock. Neville Goddard, whose words the world is now rediscovering through books and lectures, once declared something simple yet radical enough to overturn everything we've been taught. Imagination creates reality, not circumstances, not luck, not other people, your consciousness. And when it comes to money, wealth, and prosperity, Neville never preached shallow motivation or working harder than everyone else. He spoke about mastering consciousness, about using imagination and feeling to create money and abundance. The problem isn't out there. It's never been about your bank account, the economy, or your boss. The problem lies within you, in the broke mindset you've unconsciously carried since childhood, replaying false beliefs like money is hard to earn. People like me will never be rich. To have money, you must sacrifice your whole life. These phrases, these beliefs are nothing but invisible money blocks, barriers holding you back from financial abundance. Neville once told the story of a woman who came to him exhausted, saying she had tried hundreds of ways to escape poverty with no success. He didn't tell her to find a new job. He didn't tell her to work twice as hard. He didn't tell her to learn new skills. He simply said, "Live as though what you want is already yours." Imagine the room you dream of, the bed you long for, the dress you want to wear. Don't wait for it. Live from it now. This is the paradox the modern world resists. We are taught, if you want money, you must do. If you want wealth, you must fight. But Neville and visionaries like Napoleon Hill, Edison, Carnegie, Disney, Lincoln, and Henry Ford understood that the outer world is only a delayed reflection of your inner images and beliefs. Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right." So if you keep asking, "Why isn't my manifestation working? Why am I still broke after all my effort?" the answer isn't bad luck. It's that you're planting seeds without ever believing they'll grow. You plant the dream of wealth, but every day you water it with worry, with fear, with doubt. You imagine yourself rich, but immediately after you whisper, "But how? My paycheck is so small." Your subconscious doesn't listen to your words, it listens to your feelings. That's the secret Neville repeated again and again. Feeling is the secret. The subconscious is the soil. Ideas are the seeds. But feelings are the water that nourishes them. You could imagine an entire palace, but if deep down you're still anxious and afraid, that seed will wither before it ever takes root. Think back for a moment. Has there ever been a time in your life when you feared something so strongly it consumed you, and then it actually happened? Or a time when you felt absolute certainty, excitement, and faith about something, and suddenly it came true? That wasn't coincidence. That was proof you've always been creating reality through your emotions. And here's the crucial part. If you keep holding on to the same thoughts, the same emotions, you will keep repeating the same reality. If you keep believing you're poor, that money is hard to earn, that others are lucky, not me, the universe has no choice but to mirror that belief back to you. It's like staring into a mirror. You cannot frown at it and expect it to smile back. You must change your own expression first. You might ask, so how do I break free from the broke mindset? How do I dissolve these money blocks at the root? The answer is exactly what Neville emphasized. Assume it is done. Live in the end. Assume that what you want is already real and live from that state. Champions don't wait until the trophy is handed to them to feel like winners. They train, eat, live, and breathe as champions long before the victory. And that's why they win. Stay with me until the end because I'll show you a practice you can start tonight to begin breaking free from the suffocating financial cycle that's been holding you back. Now think again. How many times in your life have you vividly imagined something, felt it with your whole heart, and one day it actually appeared? Maybe it was a friend you thought about, and the next day they texted you. Maybe it was a job opportunity you once dreamed about during sleepless nights, and suddenly it opened up before you. Those moments weren't coincidences. They were proof that you have always been the creator of your reality. You are the source of money manifestation. You are the magnet for wealth. The only reason it hasn't worked in your favor is because you haven't been fully aware. Instead of attracting prosperity, you've been pulling in bills, worries, and struggle. Neville Goddard once said, "Imagination creates reality." But most people use imagination to feed their worries. They picture themselves broke. They feel the fear of not having enough, and they live from that state. So when you ask, "Why am I still broke, even though I practice manifestation?" the answer isn't in the universe, it isn't in fate. The answer lies in the inner state you carry. This is the broke mindset, a subconscious program that keeps you locked in the same cycle. Think of it this way. Your subconscious is fertile soil, and every feeling is a drop of water nourishing the seed. The idea you plant is that seed. If you sow fear and anxiety, you'll reap barren days. But if you sow abundance and water it with gratitude, the harvest will come. This isn't vague philosophy. It's a universal principle. Feeling is the secret. Feeling is the code that unlocks the subconscious. Edison didn't wait for the bulb to shine before believing it could light the world. Henry Ford didn't wait for people to believe in cars before he acted. Both lived from the state of already having it. That is live in the end. Now look at yourself. How many times have you lived in the end but in a negative way? How many times have you imagined failure, loss, or rejection, and then felt the fear until it became real? This is why so many people think manifestation doesn't work for money. Not because the law fails, but because they are using it in reverse. They have become unconscious creators. Here's the shocking but liberating truth. You are God. Not a distant deity above the clouds, but the creative power flowing through you. You are the author of your life, and every thought and feeling you repeat writes another line of your destiny. If you keep writing with the old ink, fear, lack, worry, you'll repeat the same chapter of poverty. But if you change the pen, if you start writing with faith, abundance, and gratitude, the entire story changes. Do you dare to believe it? Do you dare to choose a single image, a single state, and live as though it were already true? This is Neville Goddard's money manifestation technique in its purest form. Not endless affirmations, not begging the universe, but an inner act to feel, to embody, to live as if it's already done. Because if you think the same way today, tomorrow will look exactly like yesterday. If you keep fearing lack, you'll harvest the same barren season. But if right now you choose to feel abundance, to act as one who already has wealth, to live from the end where you are free, reality must rearrange itself to match your state. Don't wait for proof. Proof never comes first. A tree doesn't bloom before the seed is planted. You must plant, believe, nurture, and the fruit will follow. This is the eternal paradox. You don't need to see in order to believe. You must believe in order to see. And I want you to try this tonight. Before you sleep, when your mind drifts between waking and dreaming, step into a short scene. Maybe you open your bank account and see a balance far beyond expectation. Maybe you turn the key to your new home. Maybe you hear your family laughing as you say, "Everything is fine now." And when you imagine it, don't just see it, feel it. Feel the joy, the relief, the gratitude. Let the scene sink deep into your subconscious. This is the golden doorway Neville left for you. You are no longer trapped in the question, "How do I break money blocks?" The answer has always been within you. Change the scene. Change the feeling. Change the ending. When you do, you won't just break free from abundance blocks. You'll step into a financial breakthrough where wealth is no longer a dream but the reality you live in. So pause and look within. How long have you carried the same old mindset? How many times have you said, "Tomorrow I'll change," only to repeat today again? And now you're here listening to these words because deep down you know it's time. This is the moment of decision. Not tomorrow, not next week, but now. I'm not talking about some complicated technique. I'm not talking about hidden mystical secrets. I'm talking about one unchanging truth. The emotion you choose right now is the key to your new reality. If you keep choosing fear, you'll stay trapped in the cycle of lack. But if you dare to choose abundance, if you dare to live as though everything has already worked out, your life must change. Remember, you're not a beggar asking for wealth from some power outside of you. You are the source of creation. You are the endless flow. Money opportunities, new doors, all of it is waiting for your inner shift to bring it forth. So when this video ends, I want you to do one thing. Sit down, close your eyes, pick one goal, something that makes your heart burn with passion, and step into it. Feel it as if it's already done. Breathe it in. Live inside it. And from this moment forward, act like the person you have already become. Don't wait for a miracle. You are the miracle. If these words stirred something deep inside you, that is no accident. This is the reminder you've been waiting for. You didn't stumble on this message by chance, you manifested it into your life. Remember, you are the author of your story. And one day you'll look back on this exact moment and know it was here that you awakened your creative power. If you want to go deeper into imagination, belief, and the art of turning the invisible into the visible, hit subscribe right now. Every week you'll receive insights, techniques, and Neville Goddard's original teachings to keep your inner fire alive. And if you feel this message could change someone's life, share it with them. Sometimes a single spark is enough to light an entire lifetime. You don't need to wait. You don't need permission. You don't need any condition outside of your belief. You are the source of wealth, freedom, and joy. And the time is now. Rise up. Step forward. Live as though you already are.